welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about an introduction to intuitive eating. So I'll be starting off by talking a little bit more about what intuitive eating actually is. I'll then be sharing the 10 proven benefits of intuitive eating, and they are absolutely amazing, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. And then I'm going to finish the video by explaining how to get started as an intuitive eater and what those next steps may look like to make the process as easy as possible for you. And you'll be pleased to know I have created a free guide for you as well to support you a bit further on your journey to help you get started and make it as easy as possible. And that's available in the link in the description below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel welcome to hit the subscribe button and the bell, and then you'll be notified every time I release a new video about all things health, wellness, and of course, everything intuitive eating. So intuitive eating is an evidence-based model of a self-care framework that's made up of 10 different principles. It's absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about it. But that's the starting point. It is made up of a framework of 10 different principles that help you to really regain trust in your body again after, diets have sort of dismantled that trust by you having to rely on control and willpower, which you'll know if you're watching this video just doesn't work to give you the long-term health that you're looking for and that you thought you would get from dieting. So this is a completely different approach, but it's so good because it really addresses you as a whole person, and actually looking at your whole relationship with yourself, rather than just the food, in order to get that long-term health you're looking for, and without having to feel like you're constantly on and off diets to do it. It's got a validated assessment tool, so there's a really good underlying foundation to sort of help you understand how to move through the different principles, which is super helpful and something that I use with my clients all the time. It's a weight neutral model, and it's got over 90 different studies showing the benefits of intuitive eating, which I think is just absolutely fantastic. So it's a self-care eating framework, essentially, to help you heal your relationship with food and body, but also honour your health through peace, freedom and trust. So it's very much a health promoting way of eating, but also it's built on having that innate trust within yourself, so that you no longer have to rely on control and feel like dieting's the only way to get the health that you're looking for. So it's also a really personal process of honouring your health by really paying more attention to the messages of your body so that you can actually meet your physical and emotional needs. You'll find with dieting it's very much based in the thought process. Everything's sort of in the thinking of what you should and shouldn't be doing with food, whereas intuitive eating is very much a feeling process. So it's very much about connecting back to your body so that your body can tell you what it needs, and you can develop the skills to listen to your body fully again and really be able to understand it at a much deeper level, so that you can just have that freedom really around food, but still know that you're going to be, giving your body everything it needs to be in your best health, which is why it's so fantastic. It was designed by two amazing dietitians called Evelyn Tribbley and Elise Resch, and they are still practicing dietitians to this date. I was lucky enough to be able to train with Evelyn a couple of years ago when I had gone through this process myself and wanted to learn how to help others do the same. And there's over 1,000 of us now that can help people to transform their health through this particular framework. So in summary, intuitive eating is about cultivating a healthy relationship with food, mind and body. It's about self-care and body appreciation regardless of size. So the only thing to be really clear about with intuitive eating is it's not a weight loss program. The goal is not weight loss, but as a result of doing this work, you may or may not lose weight as a side effect of the process. And I'll talk about that in a future video because it's quite an important topic to cover, I think, just to give a bit more clarity on the whys and wherefores of weight loss and, you know, what it means through this work and how it links to, you know, people's perception of health and weight loss. But it's really important that it's not a focus of this work for very good reason, which you will find out more about as we go through this video and also future videos. So I'm excited to share about the 10 proven benefits of intuitive eating because they are just so fantastic. And I think when I first came to this process, I was excited about it, but a little bit nervous about what would be possible for me. And because there are so many studies that have been done on intuitive eating and the benefits are proven through that, it really does give you that encouragement and real reassurance that this work is possible for anybody and that the benefits that are possible you know, really can be achieved for all of us that go through this work. So the first benefit is, it's ironic, but it's actually lower BMI. So even though I've explained in the video so far that this work isn't about pursuing weight loss and it's not a weight loss program, weight loss can actually be a side effect of doing this work as you heal your relationship with food in your body. The difference with lower BMI being a part of this work as an intuitive eater is that it doesn't internalize the thin ideal, which is really important. So it's not a focal point of the work, but it is quite a common and known outcome of the work. Number two benefit is decreased disordered eating patterns, which is absolutely incredible. And you know, to have that as a common proven benefit is just fantastic, especially knowing that there is such a lot of disordered eating out there in the modern day world that we live in, and you know, it causes a lot of suffering. So yeah, examples of disordered eating would be undereating, overeating, binge eating, but this work does also support the sort of more serious disordered eating, which is the clinically diagnosed disordered eating conditions, so anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorders and orthorexia. So they've all been shown to either reduce significantly or be healed completely, and I can happily say that I'm one of those people. I used to have a lot of difficulties with binge eating. I was never clinically diagnosed with it, but it did have a huge impact on my life for the time that I did experience it, and I had it for quite a long time actually in my life. So being able to heal it through this work has been just absolutely incredible, and I've not had any binge eating episodes for years now. So I think that is, you know, one of the most fantastic benefits that it offers is being able to support people with that. Number three is increased self-esteem, well-being and optimism. Well, we can all do with a bit more of that in our lives, can't we? So I think that's an excellent benefit to be able to share. Number four is a bit more of a practical one, and it's to share that it has been shown through doing this work that the good levels of cholesterol, so to speak, increase, and the bad levels, so to speak, decrease as an outcome measure, which is great. So you've got that lovely reassurance that intuitive eating really genuinely does support your physical health as well as your mental and emotional health. Number 5 is intuitive eaters consume an increased variety of foods, so there isn't the rigidity that dieting inevitably creates, because it's just a nightmare and you have all your food rules and you can only eat certain things and you can't eat this and that and the other. So you'll enjoy a much greater variety of foods as an intuitive eater, and even better without guilt. So you can enjoy food fully, you really can, because you've got that variety there. Benefit number 6 is increased sense of body appreciation. So often with dieting, that's dismantled, isn't it? You know, you're so focused on how your body looks that you can end up with really, you know, quite challenging body image issues as a result of that. And this work really does facilitate you being able to be much more neutral about your body and appreciate it for what it does, rather than focus on how it looks, which is amazing. Number 7 is increased trust in food and body, which is no surprise because it's a core foundation of this work, but nevertheless an important one to appreciate that really is a fantastic benefit. Benefit number 8 is increased enjoyment of eating, and again it's being able to enjoy all foods and enjoy eating socially and not feel guilty or stressed about it. And I think that's just so important to be able to, you know, not be held back by food, and just to be able to live your life and enjoy food, you know, in all the different settings within which, you know, you may that may be a part of your culture, you know, your particular sort of community, your friendship groups, etc. So benefit number 9 is increased body cue awareness. So that really means being able to interpret the physical sensations in the body much more easily. And that comes through doing all this work and developing more trust in that physical felt sensation in the body, rather than just relying on the thoughts in your head to make the decisions for you around how you eat. And finally, the benefit number 10 is increased proactive coping mechanisms. So rather than using food to cope with, you know, difficult emotions and experiences, for example, your coping mechanisms become much stronger to deal with your emotions in a non-food based way, which again is a fantastic benefit to really transform, you know, your whole relationship with food, your body, and your whole life, I would say. Yeah, it transforms everything. So I'd love to know your thoughts about what you think about intuitive eating so far, and if you want to pop a comment below about your experience with intuitive eating, if you've already tried it, and if you knew about the benefits, then I'd love to hear your thoughts. So there's a few good things you can do to get started with intuitive eating if you're ready to sort of take that next step now you've watched this video. And the first step is sorry, that's my dog there, Poppy, wanting to be in on the video. The first step is to read the books. So this is the sort of original book. It's a bit of a Bible, and it's absolutely amazing. So it's Intuitive Eating, a revolutionary anti-diet approach. It's by Evelyn Tribole and Elise Resch, and that goes through the 10 principles in really good detail. So it's more of the intellectual side of the work more than anything, but an absolute pivotal foundation to you being able to start to understand the work so that you can apply it and heal your relationship with food and your body. The second book to recommend is the workbook. So this is slightly different in the respect that it's got the validated assessment tool in it, which I mentioned at the start of the video, that you can fill out, and it's got a number of worksheets in it, so you can actually start to take the knowledge of the 10 principles framework and actually start your healing journey. So these two make great companions together. They're absolutely brilliant, and they will literally transform not only your health but your life. So I cannot recommend them highly enough. A third book, if you like reading, this is a lovely one. I'd recommend the first two and this one as an additional one, but it's a lovely book that just gives little snippets of intuitive eating support for every day of the year. So it's still split up into the 10 principles, but it's just a little bit more of a lighter touch. So it just gives you those nice little prompts and reminders for wherever you're at with your journey with this work. And I find that one really, really helpful. It can just help bring you back to, your sense of awareness of your body. Just by reading one little passage, it can just help break those sort of maybe negative thoughts you're having about yourself and food in a really lovely, really supportive way. So that I would recommend as like an added bonus, maybe once you've read the first two books. The second sort of tip on how to get started with intuitive eating is to be ready and willing to put the desire for weight loss on the back burner. I know that might be really difficult for you to contemplate at the moment if you've done a lot of dieting and you have got really strong beliefs around what weight loss means to you. But in order for this work to be successful, you really do need to be willing to put weight loss on the back burner. You don't need to ignore the desire completely. This work isn't about, not talking about, your desire for weight loss, but it's just really important that you feel ready to not make that a priority and to really focus on healing your relationship with food and your body. And letting go of what weight loss means to you in that traditional diet culture sense. So that leads me on to tip number 3 for how to get started with intuitive eating, which is to reject the diet mentality. So I talked about this in my first video, which I will link up here or maybe up here. If you haven't watched that, go and take a look. Reject diet mentality is actually principle 1 of the framework, and it's vital that you have an understanding of what diet mentality really is, because it's quite sneaky and it can be really, really quite well hidden, and sometimes you don't even realise you've been dieting. So that's a really important one to reject, to be able to start this work, and it's so freeing. It honestly is so freeing. It's such a great thing to be able to let go of. Number 4 is to seek support from a certified intuitive eating counsellor. You can either do that within a group setting or a one-to-one setting. So the advice around getting the most out of this work is that much though the books are absolutely fantastic and you can't do the work without them, equally you can't do the work just by reading the books, because they will give you a really good intellectual understanding of what intuitive eating is and what the framework involves, but they won't actually integrate the work fully for you, because that's where the healing bit of the work is required. But having said that, the workbook that I mentioned certainly will help you get started independently. You can start doing the companion worksheets in there, but to really get the full benefit, working with somebody that's certified in intuitive eating counselling will absolutely be what you need to get the results and to get the healing with your relationship with food and your body that you deserve. So in the download, in the free guide that I've made, that you can get in the link in the description below, you will find the website for the official intuitive eating website, and in there is a directory of counsellors. So there's over 1,000 around the world. So if you click in there, you're guaranteed you will get someone that's certified in this work, and that's really important because intuitive eating has been quite heavily co-opted over the last few years with the advent of social media and everything, so you do need to make sure that you are working with someone that is using the actual proper framework in order to, you know, to do the work fully. And to get the results and to get all those proven benefits that I've just mentioned. So I'm also on that list, and that takes me to tip number 5. So if you are interested in integrating this work through some support, and you would like to have some support from me, in the downloadable guide there is also a link to my calendar. So I offer one-to-one support via a 12-week intuitive eating coaching program, so you can find more details about it on my website if you want to have a look. And then if you want to book a complimentary discovery call with me, it's a half an hour chat, so we can have a really nice chat together about sort of what your health concerns are that you've been dealing with, and, you know, sort of how you're feeling about doing this work, and then we can look at working together and I can support you further from there. If you've enjoyed this video, then definitely check out the next video. It's all about 3 reasons why diets don't work, and 5 tips on how to get healthy without dieting in 2023.